Hi, everybody. Claire with Clairvoyant, psychic medium here today.
And Erika Lane.
I'm in Colorado. I'm dog sitting for it was about a week. Yeah, it was about 7 days, I think. So having a good time. It's raining. I'm healing. This moon has so the Virgo new moon is what I'm talking about because we are recording this on Friday. It's Friday, right? Yep. So that's the energy that we're still in. So let's talk about it. What was this week? So last week?
So, yeah, I think that one thing I'll say about the Virgo new moon is that it felt a lot less manifesty than other new moons. It
Mm,
feels more releasey than a normal new moon, you know? I think it's because we are really, I mean, mutable is like at the end of the cycle, right? So we're like leaving behind a cycle, I feel, and that's the newness of it, but it's also like this big release at the same time.
I'm going to something because, hang on, Christina, our friend, posted, like, I felt like it was like, oh, that's why. Hang on. Okay, it's a little piglet thing, see? And
Oh,
it
it's in
said, I know. It says, in the mood to sweep away beliefs I've outgrown and stories that are no longer true.
Yep. And that's like
Virgo,
it's funny that Christina posted
I
that too.
know.
Because when I was talking about the gene key of this new moon, it's her like life's work gene key because this is
Oh,
when she was born. And it's
oh,
all about like detoxing junk DNA, which is fears that no longer serve us, and physically forming into a new person that isn't just a culmination of the past, you know?
oh. That's a lot.
You know,
So,
another thing too, talking about that cycle. So, like, it always goes cardinal, fixed, mutable. And the fixed part of it was Leo season, and the mutable part into Virgo. I saw something that made me relate that back to this. So, like, I think maybe it was a TikTok that you sent me, where this lady was talking about how people just want attention. That's why they refuse to heal. Think of how Leo into Virgo that is. Like, that's
yeah.
like getting stuck in Leo and not moving into Virgo.
Yep.
I don't know. I just
And
thought that was
hermiting and not
yeah,
doing anything.
yeah,
You need to hermit and go inside and do work.
yep.
And this moon was
And to
a
realize that
motherfucker.
you as a new
Oh, because
person,
Saturn and Pisces too. Oh my God.
well, and like think of it as like you as a new person, like if you're going to transmutate this junk DNA, these fears, these past traumas, all the things, your shadows, and you become a new person, you do have to also leave behind the attention that you used to get from the woundedness that you were. Because now
Yeah.
you're this new person that people aren't going to see as an oppressed victim anymore. They're not going to give you as much attention.
So the realization that just came into my head, and we're gonna try to not go off on a million tangents, but it's when I was a kid, I figured out how to force people to show me love. How Aries moon. I'm
Struggle
gonna
love.
fucking like, come on, love me, like I'm gonna make you. And Taurus rising, like I am all about like I'm gonna fucking force this. So the big example, and I don't care, I'm just gonna talk about it because this is my life. When I went to Arizona this last year, I was sinus, like it was the worst sinus I've ever had in my like sinus infection. I don't fucking know. It was terrible. I had to do 7 of those like hot pots. No, 17. 17 in one day. so I could go Apache tier hunting. Because I was like, I'm not gonna let my fucking health get in the way. That is a lot of what this moon is doing for me too today.
Mhm.
But I had to force, and I was like, Mom, can you please make me the pot of boiling water? Saying that I'm like scared and putting off that vibe of I don't like the gas stove. I don't, but I can face that, but I wanted her to take care of me, and I wanted that, and I'm constantly doing that, and I feel like I'm so used to even calling out when people don't love me. So now I have to change that behavior and start to see where they are loving me. Whoa, that just all came together. The
Oh, wow,
gratefulness.
yeah, replacing that with the gratefulness, and that's bringing that shadow to the light instead of
Woo!
digging into the shadow. Yeah.
Ooh, I forgot where I was. That was loud. Woo. I'm in an apartment.
Where did
Okay.
that just stem from?
I don't fucking know. I don't know. Let's the moon. I don't know. I don't know. Let's keep going.
Okay, so,
Anything else to talk about for the previous week, the moon, anything?
um, I don't think
Mercury is direct.
yes. So oh, yeah, so that is happening,
Right
Friday.
now.
Yep,
Hmm.
3:21 PM Central Time. So, like, yeah. But that will also happen in gate 40, which is where we had the full moon opposition going on. That's back to that gate of exhaustion. So that is again realizing where we are wasting energy, where we cannot be filling, where we're not filling our own cup, where like our environments are like depleting us, which is cool because that's exactly what you did in with like writing everything down of like where you need to see where your
Hmm.
energy is being depleted. Like that's perfect for that gate, that kind of energy.
Hmm.
um so and it's also, like a little flashback to the full moon of like remember what you were trying to release, remember what you were trying to shed. Are you still feeling exhausted? Why are you still feeling exhausted? That type of thing.
Hmm. Wow. Wow. You can
uh
really dance. Ah, Claire.
And sickness too, because when you're exhausted and you're depleted, you get sick.
Yeah.
It's like a whole thing. And I think that that's also been like why this Mercury retrograde has been so intense because it's, the
Oh,
Mercury retrograde in Virgo. And so, like, when we talk about the fear mongering of Mercury retrogrades, where they're like, all this bad shit's going to happen. Like, I know every single one of them have hit me. I've had technology issues. I've gotten sick. I've had car problems. Like, I've had all of them throughout this Mercury retrograde. But every single time I'm realizing how much it is just like a pause, a reset, and,
yep.
like a way of like when all that shit is working fine, you take it for granted. And when all that shit is working fine, you're moving full force ahead. You're not taking that time to be like, wow, this is really exhausting. Wow, I feel really depleted. Wow, I'm getting sick again. Like, oh, I didn't do enough preemptive work to prevent these kinds of things from happening because I was just running full force ahead and not being appreciative that all these things are working. You know,
Mm,
that's really what a Mercury retrograde is about. And this one was intensified.
big time.
Yeah. And even in like my new moon workshop, everybody was agreeing with that, that it's been extra intense.
What came to mind for me is like just for example, our last podcast, because we went live, I didn't want to bring up that my fucking tooth fell out. So I was just like, and like then I had to like pinpoint it, and it made me realize like, look at how much I hide health, or how second nature it is for me to like have something to do with health, because my whole life, and that was something I've been pooping out this whole last week or whatever, is like health, health, health. Like my life is like pay attention to health. It's a big part. You always have to make it a big part. Okay, pay attention to spiritual. That's a big part. You always have to do that. Like, we need to figure out how to have the whole pie.
Mm. And that's a big part of the esoteric meaning of Virgo is that like it's like the mind body spirit connection and that the more pure, clean, organized
Mm,
your mind and your body is, the more that spirit is able to come forward, is able to be you're turning yourself into a sacred vessel for spirit,
fuck
you know?
yes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right. Deep cleaning on it.
Detox. Um
Hmm.
yeah. Yep.
All right. So, now Mercury is retrograde or not retrograde. So, yay, that's going to be great. Oh, I needed to say that. So, for example, my tooth fell out in my sleep. I bit a hole in my fucking finger. Um, Hang on. I know there's like a million more things. There's some like owie on my toe. And oh, I should I tell the bathroom story of how fucking awkward I am?
Maybe, I mean, it goes in line with this
Okay.
like fear of vulnerability thing.
God damn it, it does. Okay. All right. So here, the fuck. Okay. So I went to go take a shower, and I have an extreme fear of getting yelled out about my hair staining anything because my whole life I've dyed my hair. That's just something, and my mom would always just literally read my asshole about that. Like it was, so I just am hyper fucking aware of that. Well, I love Erin. She's very bougie. Um, her shower curtain is cloth and white. So in my head, the lesser of two evils was to put the cloth outside and deal with if there was just some water that came out. Well, there was a lot of water that came out, and it like drowned it. Like I had to clean up all the mats were wet. And then I thought that there was orange on the bath mat, and I was like, I don't know. And I didn't know what to do, and I just like bursted out of there, and I was like, your bathroom floor is clean now. I put like water came out because I didn't want to get the fucking orange on the white thing, and then but orange ended up on the fucking bath mat, and I don't know how it was orange. I think it might have been red, and then I looked down at my leg and it was bleeding, and I'm like, I'm bleeding. I'm so sorry. Like, and she's like, okay, I'll wash it, and I'm just like,
It's no big deal. Yeah.
what the fuck did I just do? Why did I just like do that?
Man, that's been a big one. Like, I can think of, like, some examples of, like, me being too scared to even just, like, ask where a bathroom is, so I'm, like, holding my pee, and
I've
I'm in
never
my
done
head, I'm
that.
just like, "Why am I doing this?"
Yeah.
I don't really do it anymore, but I used to. Just, like, random weird things like that. And,
Oh,
like,
I
e
remember I did do it one time though. Okay, so yes, I can relate. Why do we do that?
I don't know, like, well, I think that that's, like
It's a fear of taking up space.
it's a fear of inconveniencing anyone.
Hmm.
You know, like when my boyfriend passed out in the hallway, he was like feeling lightheaded. He thought he would go like hide out in the bathroom and pass out in there, but he didn't make it to the bathroom. So he passed out in the hallway and then he was all embarrassed that I was giving him attention, you know? Like, isn't that weird? It's the same kind of thing. It's like the things that like they don't make any logical sense, but it's this very intense bodily feeling of
Okay,
like,
so something that I have been like really feeling is that hyper awareness because of our childhood that we were not allowed to feel. We were
have
not
needs.
allowed to have, yeah, we were seen, be heard, all of it pretty much. So we are used to doing things alone. And when we have people, it's hard for us to first think of that because we always resort to survival in
Well, it's
those
hard to trust.
triggery moments.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to trust people to be safe in those vulnerable moments that we're not going to be rejected or like kind of like that same thing that we do with EMDR therapy of like, hey, this fear no longer serves me because now I'm safe. I've thought a lot about that with friends where I'm like, like I am safe now. Like I have a good friend group. I have a good support system. Like these fears of being vulnerable that that protected me at one point are now not serving me.
Hmm. Yeah, they were keeping us safe. Now we realize, okay, good job. What's next?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Okay,
But it's
that
hard
makes
work
sense.
because we're leaving
Oh
we're
my God,
leaving
yeah.
an actual part of ourselves that we even
Mhm.
took pride in behind.
Woo, the pride.
Yeah, we had pride for how independent we were. We had pride for how well we could go through life without inconveniencing anyone.
Yeah. Okay, yay. What's next?
Okay, so let's go. So Monday, September 18th, we start out with the moon in Scorpio. So, more of the shadow work to come, basically, is what I'm trying to say with this. As to where the shadow work with this new moon is more effortless shadow work, more of a bodily DNA transformation type shadow work.
Whoa.
The moon in Scorpio takes us deeper into the psychological aspect. So like however, I kind of want to emphasize on like how difficult we're going to perceive that to be or not, like because with Scorpio shadow work, it can be very intense where you're like willing your way through shadows. Like it looks like it kind of looks like where you're like, okay, that triggered me. Why did that trigger me? And that why sends you on this whole rabbit hole of like, I got to fix this. I got to heal this. I got to talk to my therapist. I got to do some tarot cards. I got to talk to my friend. I got to like, I got to figure this out and I got to solve it. As to where this Virgo side with this new moon is like, no, no, dear. Like, stop that. Stop taking it so seriously. Let the shadows naturally come to you and then dissolve them with your light. Bring them from your head center down into your solar plexus, where you have this beam of soulful light, and let it evaporate the shadows. So I just wanted to remind everyone of that as we go into the Scorpio new moon that we
New
don't have,
moon?
well, or sorry, as we go into the Scorpio moon
Okay.
after the new moon,
Okay.
that we should still be trying to ride that intention of making this more effortless. Yeah. So like don't let the Scorpio vibes trick you into det-
Spiraling.
detective spiral of your shadows, right? Exactly that. Um Then we also have the sun opposing Neptune. So this can shine a light on delusions. This can also bring that spirit connection in. Like that, I guess I see it both ways, right? And also when we think of opposition, it is always again about bringing it back into the center. So this is like a mix between embodiment of spirit versus spirit outside of yourself. How can you bring the two together more so that way it's more spiritually aligned rather than delusional? And then Venus is still squaring Jupiter, which we talked about in last week's podcast, where I see this as like a relationship thing, like, and an alignment thing. Like, do the people around us, and material things too, like, money, possessions,
Are we
relationships,
on the same path? Are we on the same level? Are we?
on the same vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, frequency. Are we on the same frequency? Because if not, like this whole Jupiter gate is about that. It's like you're either disoriented or you're reoriented. Are you
Yeah.
reoriented towards what you really want, or are the people around you, money, possessions, attachments, are they keeping you disoriented from what you really want?
Hmm.
So that's Monday.
Yay.
I kind of wanted to look, I think that this Neptune gate is that gate we talked about of like crisis. Um,
Oh, well, that would make sense.
the darkening of the light. We talked about that.
Oh, so it's the light thing. Okay.
Yep. So again, like some keynotes with that is boredom, leaping out of the frying pan into the fire.
Oh my
With
God.
preparation and alignment comes the next right new experience and pushing the threshold of human capacity. Like anything,
Okay.
and that goes back to Uranus and Taurus too. Anything is possible.
Yeah. When is this over with?
Uranus and Taurus.
No, this gate.
Oh, that'll be for a while. Neptune moves slowly. It'll stay there for a long time.
All right. So let's just say collectively in the world. What's up, buddy? Hi. You want to come say hi? Come here.
You know,
Come
I
here.
really like this question that comes with it too, where and you said
Can
collectively.
you, we gotta, this is my beautiful Benny. Okay. I had to take a
Is
moment.
he a pit?
Okay. Hmm.
So cute. Okay, so I really like how when you put it in a collective standpoint, because Neptune is a very collective planet. Um, one of these contemplation questions is how does boredom impact your life? How much is the collective right now being diluted
Oh
because
my
of boredom?
God.
Like I'm bored, so I want to distract myself with all the shit, and it's doing nothing but giving me more fears, more limiting beliefs, more crisis, more
Yeah.
darkening of the
I've
light, more darkening of the light.
I've had to really feel that lately. When I'm talking out loud of everything that I'm consuming, because what I surround myself is what the energy I'm in is conspiracy theories and fucking crazy bad juju. So I'm trying to step away ish. I gotta still be informed. I have to.
Yeah, me
That's
too.
the Aquarius in me.
Yep, I agree. I'm the same way, but I think that I've really been taking on what you always say and just saying out loud. I don't subscribe to that. Like
Okay.
if it's too out there, if it's too dark, if it's
Yeah.
too low vibe. So even if I see low vibe stuff out going on out there in the world, I try to think of a higher vibe of that,
Oh,
like it
so
might
you
really be
counteract
this
it.
thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
kind of thinking of it like that.
Okay.
And to realize that a lot of this shit out there, like some of it's reality, but some of it is purely delusional
Yeah.
because part of the agenda is to distract everybody, right? From what's really going on. Okay. Um,
I have to say something because I watched a podcast with Joe Coy and Bert Kreischer. Go watch it. It's Bertcast if you guys like funny things and you're cool. Um, it was just amazing to me because Bert, Scorpio, Joe, um, Libra. They I'm pretty sure he had like Virgo something too. Let me just look it up. Oh, I can't use that. But anyways, the conversation that they had about the delusion that the media is putting out. And I really just want to like pinpoint on that. Like even celebrities are saying it now. Like people are not afraid to call it out. Why are there still people that are not in like that's I guess the point of me saying that. So, no, he's this Gemini with a Libra moon. Hang on. Yeah. Venus in Taurus, Mercury in Taurus, Saturn in Taurus. So the opposite is Scorpio, and that's all. It was. Oh my God, me and Leo, Aaron's husband, we were just sitting there like, oh my God, this is so good, and nobody cared. So here I am on my fucking platform that I have. Watch it. Okay. Anyways, because it's the truth. Like fucking Oprah went on fucking whatever,
mm,
asking people for money.
mhm.
And the amount of money that it would cost her to rebuild Lahaina, it is equivalent to like if you were to make $100,000 a year, $100,000, that's a lot for my thoughts. It would be only $2,500. That's all it would take to build the entire fucking city compared to what she has because she has 2 billion something. If
So
you
it
look at it in time, it's insane. I wanna
it
look that up.
pisses me off and it fills me with rage. So
I know, but that's why we need to talk about it a
I
little,
agree. I
get
agree.
have the light on it,
To
but we
shine the
can
light on
put it
that
away.
too to shine the light on that too, I saw that whole thing with Oprah. Another big part of what she was doing was putting the blame back on us,
Yeah,
telling us that we're the problem. And
yep,
that is what these high ranking people have been doing for a long time. And again, it's that delusion. So when you talk
yeah,
about why people buy into it, because it's more
it's happened
comforting
forever.
again.
Yeah, yeah,
They think that like I even had a talk with my dad about this and like they don't want to take responsibility for the way that things are, so they slough that responsibility onto a billionaire. Like my dad sloughs it onto Elon. Like it's Elon Musk's job to change the world. I'm just a nobody and I shouldn't worry about it at all. Like that's how he looks at it. But the thing
okay.
is, when you give that power over to someone
We've all done it.
and then what happens? Then
The
you are
power
just
is there.
the power is there, you have none. And then they capitalize on that, they exploit that, they victimize that, they oppress that so they can hold on to their power.
That is
Because if we were
insane.
all to wake up from this collective delusion and realize who really has the power and control, then this whole game would be over with, but they would lose all that power and control. It's so simple yet so complicated at the same time.
Well, yeah, they have to make it like that.
So again, to kind of shoot that positive energy back at the situation, I send the vibes out for more and more people to wake up to this collective delusion and take responsibility for their spiritual purpose and path and authenticity finding and purpose finding
Yep.
and love generating. To me to stop building a reality out of fear and build a reality out of unconditional love, which is why I'm also so passionate about the coming online of the divine feminine energy that I'm seeing all over the place right now. Because the way that we're going to build a society that way is going to have to be a matriarchal way of doing things, a more feminine based approach that
Mhm.
we haven't ever tried out yet,
Mm-mm.
at least not in as far back in history as any of us can conceive of.
Mhm.
Men have had their chance.
So take in the I don't subscribe to that. I don't subscribe to that. Disconnect your energy. Okay. That's
Okay.
Monday.
So moving on to Tuesday, September 19th, the moon is still in Scorpio. It's moving further through Scorpio. So now it's going to be making oppositions to the stuff in Taurus, which is Jupiter and Uranus. So this is quick moving. That's really all that's going on Tuesday. It's just more of us kind of feeling into these shadows and like maybe how those shadows hold us back from abundance with Jupiter, and maybe how those shadows hold us back from material change and progress and innovation with Uranus. That's it for Tuesday. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, so Wednesday, September 20th, then the moon moves into Sagittarius. Right off the bat, it squares Saturn and Pisces. So here we have another mutable square. But it's within, we're still in the manifesting cycle. So this is gonna be like I think like from what happens Monday and Tuesday, by the time we hit Wednesday, it's gonna be like, oh, let's reshape some of these beliefs. Um, let's reshape some of these. What is the word I'm looking for? Like philosophies. There we go. Changing, shifting our philosophy on life to be more aligned with our spiritual values. Um,
Oof.
Then at the same time, the sun trines Pluto. So more there's still transformation going on, you know? So there is still light being shined onto the shadows. Meanwhile, this transformation metamorphosis of our philosophy and life changing and shifting. That's how I see that.
It's a lot, guys. It feels like a lot. It feels very heavy. It feels very scary, it feels very big, and that's okay.
I love how you always add that flavor to everything.
What?
Um,
Why?
it's like the it just you give me like that mothering vibe of like it feels heavy, but it's okay. You know, like you're always kind of like easing everybody into
I'm
pouring
talking to
that out.
myself.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my, I
But
can
it's
see
true.
that. Yeah, and it is true. It's gonna be okay. I mean,
Mhm.
shit, we say this every week, guys. So obviously it's
Yeah.
okay because we're still here. You're still listening to us and we're still talking
Yeah.
to you. So
Yeah. It's stuff that needs to happen. It's stuff that needs to change. We have to, like, if you're not growing, you're dying. Like, we have to do this. So give yourself a fucking gold star for doing it. Like, oh my God, tell the story of what we did to Nathan earlier.
oh,
I mean,
so
this was a good, it's a good thing.
he has a pattern of needing a haircut, and he'll say every weekend for several weeks in a row, I need a haircut, and then he'll never go get a haircut. And he'll do that like 100 times before he finally actually goes and gets a haircut. So he did that, and I was like, I thought you were gonna go get a haircut. He was like, no, I know I need to, but I'm not going to. And so I like just brought up the pattern. I'm like, oh yeah, because you have about 100 more times before you'll actually go get a haircut. And then he was like, okay, and like went and got a haircut. Me and Claire on this Zoom were like, woo, good job. We're so proud of you.
Yeah. Reward yourself.
For real though, have compassion.
Mhm.
God
Feel
damn, that's
fucking
been
good about taking care of yourself. That was in my tarot for this new moon too, but it's like celebrate your damn life. It's not so serious.
that's where we bring that feminine online. That's what my readings have been all about as well too, because that's how we skip all the hard begrudging work of shadow work and we just dissolve shadows by giving ourselves love and compassion, by letting ourselves know that we're safe, that it's okay, that we by stopping the judgment and inner critic of ourselves. And it's so fucking silly when you really look at it objectively because we judge and criticize ourselves so much more
Yeah.
harshly than we do other people. That's why I think what you always use as an
Mm.
example when you think of yourself as someone else, it's easier to take better care of yourself.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
why, guys? Fuck that. Let's transform that too, you know?
Mm. That's interesting. I'm not gonna go into it though. What's next?
Um, okay. So yeah, Sun trine Pluto, shining more light on shadow work. Also, Pluto in gate 60 is the gate of conservation and limitation and acceptance. So it allows us to also be more innovative about getting rid of things when we accept our limitations. So that is we can find innovation with gratitude, like you said, because gratitude usually, when we can really look at the things that we're grateful for, we see more things to be grateful
Yeah.
for. The limitations get
Where
less.
energy goes, where focus goes, energy flows.
Yep. So we're exploring what works with an open mind. We're finding a solution to orientation. Remember, Jupiter
Yay.
abundance, getting reoriented, and right timing
Hmm.
and letting go. Okay. So that's Wednesday. Thursday, September 21st, the moon is still in Sagittarius, and now it's forming a trine to Chiron, giving our philosophy a bit more flavor of this identity healing that we're also going through. Um, this could also be like your philosophy about you and how you see yourself, right? Like, remember too that the gate that this one was in, we've talked about before, where the shadow is agitation. So like you're kind of being awoken to these things about your identity that need to be healed through the feeling of agitation. So it's like I want to flip that back
Oh,
around to like when you feel agitated with yourself, and that's when you start doing that whole critic judgment thing where you're not giving yourself compassion, and then you are wounding your identity even more when you do that, because you're basically saying out loud, you know, I'm a piece of shit, I'm a piece of shit.
wow.
um so I think it's like if we can change the philosophy of like, I made a mistake, I own that mistake,
Oh
I
my
have
God.
compassion for myself for making that mistake, I love myself even though I make mistakes, I am worthy of love and abundance even though I have made mistakes.
Okay, I have to say something, and thank you for saying all of that. That is beautiful, and yes, 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 yes. Um, did I tell you the thing that Amy told me about showing your ass?
No.
Okay. Okay. So a big thing that is happening right now with the energy, I am noticing, is that we are needing to own our mistakes. We are needing to be like, fucked up there, signed up for that, didn't fucking think about it. Oops, said okay to that, don't really know what it was. Oh God, I didn't look into that, or oh, whatever, whatever. um, my friend Amy said that it's like you're showing your ass. Like, oh, oops, I did that. My ass just showed, you know?
Embarrassed is what, like,
Mm-hmm.
it's embarrassing. Yeah.
And the pride and whatever that comes with all of that. So why can't we collectively just stop being shameful of fucking up? We're human, and own it and move past it instead of just,
Well, I think that that's the thing when we have to be like we it takes a level of bravery and courage to show our ass. And then when we show our ass, that's when we really need to come back with that self-love and
yes,
compassion.
yes.
And I think for
And
me,
that's the missing piece. That's why I think I brought that up, because I really saw that, where I know that I'm really getting like fucking slapped in the face with, I need to be taken care of. I need to take care of myself. We all are, you know. Um so that's how we do it. Like, I fucked up. Oops. Okay, now how can I give myself love for doing that? Because think of it, if you were as a little kid and a little kid accidentally, their fucking pants fell down or something, you would be like, oh, little Timmy, it's okay. It's okay. It happens. It's okay. Why the fuck don't we do that for ourselves?
because our parents didn't do that for us. That's why we parent in that way. That's why gentle parenting is the new trend of parenting because when we spilled milk as a kid,
We
the
got
phrase, "Oh,
screamed
it's
at.
just spilled milk." Yeah, like for us, no, it wasn't. It was, "You're a fucking piece of shit. How dare you?" It was like just so much shame deflected at us
God damn
every
it, Claire.
time.
That's what it
Yep.
was for me.
Yep. And so now you're saying that to yourself all the time.
I say God damn it, those words all the time.
And that
So
goes
I
back to what I
never
said.
realized that that was a thing.
Well, that remember
Whoa!
last week's
I
podcast
know
when I
the
said that
words.
about or the where you're being either the child or the parent, you know? Yeah.
Wow.
So
Shit's
the
crazy.
healing on identity too is also that remember how we said I don't subscribe to that. We can also say I don't identify with that. Maybe
Yeah.
when we catch ourselves beating ourselves up and criticizing and judging ourselves, we stop ourselves and we say, "No, I don't identify with that."
I'm stopping it because my brain is saying identify. For some reason, it comes out to like, I'm bisexual, I'm gay. Like, why is that happening in my head?
I think because that also you bring up this shift in times and in generations right now, even because of our gentle parenting, we have opened up space and freedom for the younger generation, this Gen Z and
To
Alpha,
figure out
to
what to
figure that
identify.
out. So they are identifying with all these random different things to try to figure it out. And so that brings me back to this inner child work that I've been doing. Like for instance, me realizing that I don't know how to play because I was never allowed to play as a child.
Okay.
I have to figure out what I identify with when it comes to like what is fun for me, what is play to me. So I have to try out these different things, which goes back to what you said about making mistakes. That means I'm going to have to do some trial and error, some
Yeah.
experimentation, some fucking up, some getting my hands dirty, getting in there and doing it and not shaming myself for that. Otherwise, I'm never going to get to the other side. Remember the gift for
Fucking
so
Adele song all week, or for the past 3 days. Yeah. I've been saying it to you, like, see you on the other side, but in my head, I'm like, hello from her. Like,
yeah, I love that. Well, and remember the shadow of this one is agitation, but the gift is initiative. It's
Initiative is meaning, we're gonna have motivation, we're gonna get slingshot, we're going to start something, right?
Ooh, and we're gonna get deep into that as we go forward into the week. But yes, also I think of initiative as this taking initiative for our own identity healing.
Good. I forgot where I am. I'm like, I clap, I woo, I'm very loud,
Why do you have to be quiet? Oh, are you in it because you're in an apartment? Gotcha. But also it's like it's not
and the
like late
dogs.
at night or early in the morning.
Yeah, but like the dogs, maybe that is annoying to them.
Are you being too considerate?
I am, what is that word? Over, why
Anal?
can't I fucking even remember the word? Over functioning.
There you go. Yep.
I'm gonna
Ooh,
write
that
it down.
self-regulation that we talked about. Remember? Over self-regulating. We need to loosen the fuck up, man. And I'm saying that to myself too. Like, Jesus, man.
Tolerance breaks over. I'm in Colorado. It's not illegal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do whatever you want
So,
there.
but it's true. We do. We need to loosen up, but we did need to be serious there for a little bit. I think it made us identify our rage. Your hair is beautiful.
That weird ass curl though. That's
Thank
funny.
you.
But yeah, I agree.
Okay, what's next? Because I am excited to read these tarot.
Okay,
We
so
have a lot left.
No, we're on to the weekend
Oh,
now.
okay.
So, Friday. So Friday, September 22nd. The moon is still in Sagittarius towards the end, so it makes a square to Neptune. Again, the delusion is going to try to come back, but we're supposed to remember this new philosophy we formed. And again, and then
I
we're sitting.
don't subscribe to that. I
I
don't
don't
identify
subscribe.
with that.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Um, and then the moon moves into Capricorn. Now, this is when a really cool aspect begins to. So, like when the moon moves into Capricorn, then it's going to be like, okay, what are we building with this? What are we forming with this? What is the next step? What is the goal? But a cool thing happens on this day too. So Venus starts to conjunct Juno, exactly. Juno is the asteroid of
Ooh.
long-term relationships and marriage. So again, when we are looking at our relationships and how orienting they are, we're looking at it in a like I love that as the moon comes into Capricorn, right? Because it's putting us into a perspective of more long term. And here's where I'm going to bring up something cool that happened to me yesterday. In my tarot spread, the last question I put was like, this card represents clarity to something that has been
Yeah.
confusing in your life. I got this card called the Stone in the archetype book, and when I read it, it didn't make any sense at
Is this
first.
the one that we talked about?
No,
Okay, keep going.
because remember I didn't finish it till after I got off the phone with you.
Oh,
Um, but so I got this card about the stone, and it didn't make any sense to me. But you know how Kim Kranz, she always does that go deeper thing where you can look things up. So I actually took some time and did that yesterday. Like I looked up all sorts of things
sweet.
that had to do,
Good.
and it was wild, like that's why even Lana Del Rey came in because I don't even normally listen to her, but
Yeah,
it was
I
a whole
wonder.
ass vibe,
Okay.
So anyway, like when I looked up the pictures, it was talking about this is one of the ones
Oh,
that came up. So it was like talking about how like it called it some term I don't remember, but like basically when you go build these rock formations, and it still didn't make sense to me. But then all of a sudden I remembered Moana. So have you seen the movie Moana?
yes. I
Okay,
love it.
so remember how there was that whole scene about like these stones on the top of the mountain? So every ancestor left a stone when they became chief, and there was like stone after stone after stone, and they wanted her to lay her stone, and she couldn't do it because she was like, I don't want to do it the same way. I want to do something different. And at the very end of the movie, I'm getting like emotional. At the very end of the movie, they show the pile of stones again, and then on the top there's a conch shell. Like she changed the fate of her ancestry.
Oh
And then
my
I had this
God.
whole thing kind of going on in my head about how,
Wow.
like, why can't we do that with our goals, right? Like, let's say one of my goals is to lose 10 pounds, and I lose 10 pounds and I put a stone. Like, why can't we, like, be, because I think it's a reminder about these things that we do that seem boring. They're like the things that you don't get validation on right away, you know, because like losing weight's a good example. Like it's a lot of nothingness before people finally see the results, before you finally see the results. And I think in this like era of human history where we're like addicted to quick like dopamine hits, it's really hard for us to reach our goals lately because those things are not fun, you know?
There
Like,
is also so much bad, and it really is more bad than good. And we have been subjected to not play, to not celebrate, to not feel good. The media
mm,
is like, be scared.
work harder,
Yeah, shut up. Keep working.
put your head down. It is what it
Be
is, the
angry.
way it
Be
is.
scared.
But I guess I'm bringing this up because I think I want us to think in a long-term perspective of how it's that's the purposefulness, I guess. The fact, like we've talked about this in the past too, the fact that your ancestry has handed you the baton of your ancestry line and said, here, like, what are you going to do with this, you know? Like even if you don't think that, like, you know, I don't subscribe to the fact that everybody has some fixed purpose identity. Some people's are more adaptable. Some people's only purpose is to heal their generational trauma, like, you know, whatever it is, but there's still a purpose within that that you can use as like this core stability. That's how I'm seeing it. That's the earthliness of it. It's like I can shift, I can change, I can grow, I can go on all these different places, but the core stability is that I'm evolving. Like I'm evolving
Yep.
the family line. So that's how I'm seeing like the
It
mountain.
is our responsibility, no matter who you are, the end. Saturn and Pisces, that is, I think, the and then now with this Capricorn energy that's coming in and whatever is happening, that's like that legacy.
Ooh, rebuilding. That's what I think, that's why I said it that way, because it's not to rebuild what we truly want. It's going to take a lot of that un dopamine hitty kind of
Yeah,
work to make a solid foundation, to
the
build the
mountain
mountain.
goat.
Yep. Yep. And then
Oh,
Venus Juno is having us look at that same perspective when it comes to our relationships long term, you know? Like is this friendship a quick dopamine hit, or is this a long-term build the stones, build the mountain with kind of friendship? And maybe we're looking at all of our relationships like that. Maybe we're looking at the way we earn money like that. Maybe we're looking at our material possessions like that. And it's the last day of Virgo season,
fuck, 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 fuck. What day is this?
Friday. It's a good thing.
I know, but that's a lot. It is a
It is.
lot.
I think it's a good day to make some plans in preparation though, because once we get into Libra season, we're hitting eclipse season. We're hitting
I'd
South Node.
rather
We're
deal with that.
hitting, you would?
Mhm.
I'm scared.
Oh, you're
I
the
don't know
no, I
if
had
I'm for
Taurus
that.
rising and we had the eclipses. You're Libra rising eclipses. It's a good time. It's fun.
Oh, it is okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I think it's my bad bitch era, you know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm telling myself. Okay, so yeah, so that's Friday.
Bitch, I said what I said. That's what just comes.
Yeah, actually, that's literally what I was thinking of too. Weird.
Okay,
One,
so Saturday. Are we used to doing the
yep,
weekend ones?
Saturday. Um, where am I? Okay. Yeah, because Saturday is officially Libra season. Um, Moon is still in Capricorn. Moon is still in Capricorn. Now it's moved
Ooh, that's
further.
a boost to Cardinal.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. We're gonna
And
hit the ground running.
it's going to square too, because by Saturday, the moon is going to move halfway through Capricorn and start squaring Mars and Libra as Libra season starts. Like, isn't it crazy how astrologically everything has been so
Stuck.
synchronistic?
Oh, yeah, everything
Yeah,
always is, yes.
you know, like new moon in Virgo, Virgo direct or Mercury direct in Virgo. Beginning of Libra
Oh,
season, Moon square Mars in Libra. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like these like little like
super blaster of the energies.
yeah. So so this is a cardinal square. This is like, what are you starting? I'm looking at this too as like a remember this mountain. Mars and Libra can get you into trouble if you start to go back into these people pleasing tendencies. And into these I also see it as like wasted arguments, like trying to convince people of something that they're just not going to ever fucking understand. I know that as a Libra rising, that's something I've definitely been guilty of, where I'm like, oh, I have to like, sit on this fucking Facebook debate for 3 hours until they finally get my point of view. I haven't done that in years, thank God, because oof, that was exhausting. But just Mars doesn't like to be in Libra. It doesn't have the energy and gusto that it does in other places. So it's like don't waste that little bit of energy that you have on I want to stay on other people, but like in a way of like not
Negative.
putting yourself first, right?
Mhm. I wanna even just say, like, negative. Like, if you had to talk to I don't know, like, let's go with the fucking Disney Plus thing for me. Like, what wasted energy I put into that, just being so fucking mad and petty. Why?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's such an interesting feeling with the Aries North node because the pettiness and the people pleasingness, it's like such a fine line right now.
You're right, it is. Like
But that's
almost
causing a change. That's causing like, oh, okay, should I subject myself to this energy? No.
because I can see like Libra has like two options with this South Node. I think that what you just said, it's like they're like, I'm done with my people pleasing. Like all Libras are like
Yeah.
that. Some Libras are being more petty about that, and other
Yep.
Libras are more like, what's the root? What's the root of the problem? What about me needs to shift and change so I'm not such a fucking doormat? I don't need to be petty. I don't need to like fucking I don't know, whatever. Like all the things that you could do. So,
Wow.
guys, this gets intense on Saturday as well because after the square, Mars is also making an opposition to Chiron and Aries, while Chiron is making a trine to Venus and Juno conjunct. So, let's break this down. Mars debilitated, opposed Chiron, identity wounds that we've talked about. But then there's that trine to Venus and Juno. So, long term relationships, long term material. You okay?
They're just
Okay.
barking.
Also
Come here,
think of it as
guys.
like material, like money, work, relationships that align with us authentically. Because remember, that's what we were working on during Venus retrograde. So if it aligns with us authentically, and we can also recognize that our authenticity is going to change as we change and grow and evolve, that what feels authentic right now
Oh,
might change down the road. Are
yeah.
these the kinds of friends, relationships, family, whatever that will grow
Mm.
with us, that will love us even as we grow and shift and evolve and change, right? And the only way that you can really be sure of that is like the green flag that they're doing it too. That you're saying, you're going to change, I'm going to change, I love you, you love me, right? And by doing that, that is also healing our identity wounds because
Yeah.
this is showing us, and it's showing us this duality between self and other, between self love and relationship love. It's showing us how it really does always need to start with ourselves. And then when it start, like for instance, like respect, right? Like when I didn't respect myself and I didn't value myself, I let other people disrespect me and I let other people devalue me and make me feel worthless because I didn't believe that I was worth it. But the more that I have done the work to get to where I am now, the less I tolerate that disrespect. and say, I don't identify with that. I wouldn't have even been able to say I don't identify with that at one point because my identity was so unreachable to me, you know?
Unknown,
Unknown. Yeah.
not aware of.
I was completely a product of the other, you know?
Mm.
And I think there's a lot of other people out there like me. And I think that that's the kind of people getting hit with this energy hardcore.
You don't have to do it alone. We can help you.
Yeah. Taking it from people who've been there, you know?
Yes. Oh my God. Like of the first good 10, I'm fucking still. You always have to have help. You always have to have help.
This is making me also think of a story I told someone, which might be valuable here too. I've also noticed a lot of people say things to me like, well, I want to help people, but I feel like I'm in no place to help people. Like, I need to reach this level before I can officially help people.
Yeah.
And
I don't
I
know why
remember
people do that.
well, because I remember I used to have that mentality too. It was like, I have no business telling other
Mm-hmm.
people what to do. My life's still a mess.
Mm-mm.
But now that I look back on it, I'm like realizing it's like, really, guys, like as you move through life, there's always going to be someone behind you. There's always going to be someone
Yep.
ahead of you. That will never not be the
Yep.
case. And the thing is that the advice that you can give to someone only one step behind you is so much more relatable and valuable than if you hold it all in and you don't help, you move 10 steps forward and then it's really hard to get your headspace back to where you were ten steps behind to be able to help those people. So again, like you're kind of fucking people out of better help by having that
Mm.
mentality. I don't know why I felt like I needed to bring that. I think it's
No,
because of
I
that.
love it because that goes to just like the principles of Reiki in general. When we are healing another person, we're also healing ourselves. We are all one. We will be able to figure out whoever gets placed in front of us. We all can heal each other no matter what it is that you do. If
And
you spend the time and energy and open your mouth, open your mind, open your heart, every single person can heal each other.
mm, and I really like looking at it like when you think of the we are all one concept, every time you show someone compassion, you're showing yourself compassion. Every
Mhm,
time you
mhm,
judge and criticize someone, you're judging and criticizing
mhm.
yourself. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And a lot, but it's good.
Okay, so what else? Oh yeah. So also Venus, let's see. I kind of wanted to talk about Mars is in a place in the human design world of like intuition and fear facing and like I guess the shadow of it of where it's going to be at when all this stuff is unease, and then the gift is intuition. So like when you feel
Fuck
uneasy, that
yes.
is your intuition speaking to you, you know? So like I guess keep that in mind when it comes to that people pleasing mentality, that's exactly what goes on. It's you feel uneasy, but instead of respecting the fact that you feel uneasy, you instead care about the other person's comfort and disrespect yourself. And you disrespect your intuition. And then your intuition becomes broken because why would your intuition want to speak to you if you're going to constantly ignore it?
Mm, don't feed the bad wolf. Don't listen to the bad thoughts. Shift. We have to shift. Okay. Oh,
And then, you know, like this Chiron thing of this agitation that's in that self worth. So you're going to feel agitated when you feel worthless. We bring that into we bring that into the gift of initiation by telling ourselves that we're worth it, by giving ourselves the reward. The reward is what makes us feel worthy, right?
okay.
Okay. Other people are not responsible for doing that for you. You are responsible for doing that for yourself.
Even if that is, hey, can you give me a gold star for cleaning the whole apartment?
So
Can
you ask for
you?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Or you can be like, I'm gonna go take myself out for ice cream because I cleaned the whole apartment. Whatever your love language is, you can do it for yourself too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So Sunday, September 24th, the moon is still in Capricorn. Now it's conjunct Pluto. This might be gift wrap on this transformational week. So if you think like this whole week
Yeah.
coming up is like a butterfly cocoon kind of thing, by the time we hit Sunday, it's like maybe, I don't know, maybe I feel like a big busting out, a big transformation, a big release, you know, this
Okay.
pressure release once the moon moves off of that, because then the moon is going to move into Aquarius and we're going to feel more of that detached alien floating in space kind of feeling, you know. Um Looking at things from a bigger picture as well. Mars is still opposing Chiron. Venus is still trining Chiron. Like I said, the moon moves into Aquarius in the evening. And then also on this day, Jupiter starts making a tight trine to Mercury. So Mercury is direct, Jupiter is retrograde. I want to say that this is like also, ooh, okay. Nope, I think I'm getting it now. Mercury is also in the gate of imagination. So the shadow of it is confusion. The gift is imagination. This is in the head space, the crown space. So I think of this as like, remember at the beginning when we talked about all the shit with Virgo and how it's like cleaning our temples so spirit can come through. We're doing that work, and now spirit is trying to come through, and it's going to send you shit in your head that is going to feel very imaginative, right? You notice how that happens where sometimes it comes through and it's just like,
How do I
and
get there?
you love it, but you're like, how do I make this make sense? How do I
Mm-hmm.
make this make logical sense? How do I talk about this? How, like, you try to bring it down, but it's like it wants to get stuck right there. Well, that's because you're in the shadow of confusion and you're trying to will your way through that confusion to the other side, when really you need to integrate that confusion into, hey, it's okay to be confused. This is just my imagination, and I can hold on to this frequency of these things I'm imagining without criticizing and judging them. Right back to that, I can just stay in this realm of imagination and be grateful that spirit speaks to me in this way and hold into that frequency until, because see, that's the thing, is that spirit runs in a dimension of divine timing. So if you hold on to that frequency long enough, then spirit will give you the logical conclusion, will
Yeah.
give the aha moments,
Mm-hmm.
will give you the words to say, but you have to hold on long enough. If you start judging it and criticizing it, you're throwing it out, you're throwing the baby in the bathwater, right?
Wow.
And this will bring you abundance with Jupiter, right? It will reorient you into receiving in abundance. And I think that that's going to be a big part of like
Oh,
people validating your imagination instead of that, because remember how big of a one that was for me, and
yes.
this is my Jupiter gene key, guys,
Ah.
where I'm like,
Oh.
everyone sees me as confusing, and I really had to
Oh.
work on that to be like, now I'm like, who cares? They don't, maybe they don't see me as confusing, maybe they just see me as imaginative. Maybe they think though, and it is true, the way I speak, the way I communicate is very poetic and very
Yeah.
uh imaginative, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not so logical, and like, I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it is, I think, because I'm always trying to bring it there, but I'm trying now to be more content with not always having to make it make sense.
Over explain. So over function.
That, yep. Over function because I'm criticizing myself, because I want that external validation, because I'm not giving it to myself. Yeah.
Stop over functioning. Whatever that looks like to you. If you are going out of your way to force love, if you are overthinking, trying to figure things out, you don't have to keep riding that same wave. You can take a break.
That's part of giving yourself love and compassion,
Mm-hmm.
saying, like, it's okay, sweetie. I know you need a break.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to rest. It's okay to do nothing.
Yep. Okay. Are we
Ready for tarot.
okay?
I can't wait.
All right. This one, and I'm doing the only tarot deck I brought was the Wandering Moon Tarot, but Aaron has the same decks as me, so I'm using the same, whatever. Okay, so the Wandering Moon Tarot is the Seven of Stars. I am the card of patience and unseen growth. You have planted your seeds, and although you may not be able to see the results right away, trust that the harvest will bear the fruits of your labors. So perseverance, patience, all good things coming to those who wait, and cultivation. I want to read this too. It says something about the artwork. The branches of the tree are shown in this card. There are 7 and they are healthy, plump stars growing from these branches. Each growing star is illuminated with radiant cosmic energy. Someone with skill has worked hard to get the tree and the stars to this point. Has their hard work paid off yet?
Hmm.
God damn it, I love that. See, I need to stop saying God damn it. I just realized that in this podcast. All right, the next one is the lion. The animal Kim Kranz. Fuck. Patient. The lion is a master of the fire element and the living mascot of self-transformation. A lion's personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. This dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all, but known intimately by few.
Ooh.
Holy fuck.
Can you just repeat that one more time? Because
I
I
want
get
to just say
chills.
that a lion's personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. Let's just take a moment. Me and you, that is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So, this dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all, but known intimately by few. Some mistake the lion as hard to access or aloof. Yet those with a keener eye know better. Lions are observant, stealth, and precise in their word and action. They do not waste energy or resources. This card reminds us that the self-mastery is available to all, no matter where the quest begins. So when we
No
are in
matter where the
balance,
quest begins. That's huge
yeah,
too.
yes. Okay. So when we are in balance, the epitome of peace and strength. When we're out of balance, we are withdrawn. We're too serious. So to bring into balance, daily meditation and friendship. I love you.
I love you too. God damn, was
This is
perfect.
good. All right, this one is the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell and Daniel Noel. This is the lifting of the veil. Hang on, I need a drink. Questioning everything, anything unaligned must go. Jesus fuck. Okay. Things aren't always as they seem. This era is one of uncovering mistruths so we can remember ancient truths.
Mm.
Wow. Everything is in a state of recall and realignment. Anything that isn't in harmony with the planet will not survive. This goes for society and the world at large, as well as in our own lives. If you pull this card, you are being called to energetically scan your life for things that may no longer be a vibrational match for who you are and how you've grown. To dismantle the systems and ways of being that once served you and others but no longer do. There's a bird. Some star seeds are here to lift the veil between the seen and unseen worlds, to shine a light on things that are inauthentic or unaligned with the survival and well-being of Earth, to stand for and protect those that don't have a voice, to look deeper and question everything that previous generations do not. Some starseeds cannot tolerate things that aren't congruent. They are here to bring society and humanity back to harmony with the planet and the creator at large. If we tolerate things in our life that aren't aligned or congruent with it, we add to the misalignment of the planet.
Yeah. Damn.
You're being called to trust yourself. Notice what's out of alignment and then take the baby steps required to bring it back into harmony. This is no easy feat, but it is so worthwhile, both individually and for the planet.
And when we're talking about that feminine energy, man, like the earth is our womb. The earth is our mother, our divine mother, like the earth provides, the earth loves us unconditionally. Like I love how it said how we need to be in alignment with that.
Yeah. And that goes back to that thing that, like, if we work on healing ourselves, we can help heal our family. If we work healing on our family, we can work healing on the town we live in. If we work healing in the town, we can work healing in the state with the country. Like, we're all one.
Yep.
This is a part of it. You
Yep.
have to fucking do the work.
While not taking it so seriously. Because it's
Yeah.
not serious. It's loving work. It's not
Yeah.
serious work. It's loving
And
work.
if you really think about it, because this is how I've been looking at it lately, like me bringing an extra suitcase here so I can, like, buy things for my inner child.
Mm.
Like, I'm healing and I'm finding the fun ways of doing it.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know. I found a horror art. Well, I don't fucking remember what it was, like an art exhibit thing. But I like did like as much research as I could, whatever. It's like horror, like Freddy Krueger, Chucky, people that made art with it, and you can buy prints, you get a free print. Like, this is my shit,
Yep.
like, I'm so fucking excited. And then I get to go to the biggest fucking gem and mineral crystal store ever. Or show, whatever. I have been, yeah. So healing can be fun. Healing can also suck a fucking toe. Like, we can be sitting on a couch and being depressed and crying and whatever. But everything has its fucking season.
Mm.
You just have to show up for every fucking one. You can't opt out.
And the feminine way of healing is through nurturing.
Yeah. So how do you want to be nurtured? What does that look like to you?
Because if you're just sitting there depressed, you're in barren land. How do you bring more sustenance, more nutrition,
Yeah.
more,
What do
yeah.
you need to feel safe and secure and cozy and good to heal? If you don't feel that way, something needs to change.
How then?
Okay. So that's everything. Can you say stuff right now?
Yeah. So okay guys, as you might know, but if you don't, thank you so much for supporting us and for watching this podcast, and the people that stick around every week. You're so freaking awesome. I love
Yes,
hearing
and I
you
love
guys'
hearing
feedback.
feedback. Yeah.
It's just heartwarming. Let's actually
Yeah.
take a moment too in this intention setting. I've been thinking about this, and I've been
Oh,
wanting to say it, and I think I'm going to say it
okay.
now. Let's also set the intention that we're going to heal and detoxify the algorithms.
Okay. And this will reach whoever it needs to be reached. And
We're worthy. We are worthy of this
yeah,
reaching out there. Our
yeah,
advice is
me too.
worthy of being heard. Our voice heard. Our
Sweet.
voices are worthy of being heard. Um, and
Yeah.
we do this out of love, and I want
Yeah.
more algorithm to be showing the love. Let's like
Yeah.
just set the intention for that.
Yes. And I am so grateful and so thankful and so fucking amazed and whatever that people find our lives interesting and enjoy our podcast. So thank you. Thank you. Fucking thank you.
Thank you for real. Agreed. And we love doing this. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so because we
That's why
love
they're
doing
so
this,
damn long.
exactly. Because we love doing this, we also this is our work. This is our life's work.
Yeah.
This is our purpose. Like Claire said, we are spirituality and purpose and identity finding like warriors, I would say. So if you need help with that, please consider booking a session with us. Please look into our sacred soul coaching, which is like deep dive into this stuff where you get both of our expertise and modalities and you get both of our perspective, which we do have. We have a good
We're
balance.
witnessing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
And then also our sacred seances where we can come and entertain your party.
Hmm.
And then also we have Awaken the Witch coming up. All this talk about femininity and the witch wound and where women have been oppressed. This is like a threshold for that, guys. Like we're
Hmm.
so that's why we're so passionate about that as well, to bring you guys together into that type of energy
Safe
and have fun.
community.
Ooh, yeah, and have
Hmm.
fun, you know?
Hmm.
And yeah, so thank you guys. Like, share, subscribe, all the things. Leave us
Yes, we
feedback.
do have individual stuff. Please just check out all of the things that we have. Um, that we are heading into spooky season. I know I have some October dates like open and whatever, and I'm hoping on the other side of this moon to be more organized. Um, and I know we've been saying we have a podcast that's going to be coming out, but I feel it. I feel it's getting closer. So, so yeah, we love you. Have an amazing week, and we'll check you later.